My husband blindsided me for his boss and kicked me out, so I got revenge doing exactly what the judge told me to do. Over a decade ago, I came home to discover that I was being moved out by my husband. We weren't in a great place, but I was blindsided. I was also served with a protection order that stated I could not come home without prior written permission. I had to go through my husband to see the kids, and it was in effect for 90 days. I was devastated. A relative connected me with a bulldog of a lawyer. This guy was brilliant and no nonsense. He filed a rebuttal to the protection order but told me that these things take time, and we were unlikely to see a judge before the 90 days were up. He was very clear that I must follow the court order to the letter and that if there was any evidence otherwise, I would be in an uphill battle if my husband renewed it. It only took one day before my now ex needed me to take the kids. I had crashed at a friend's house, so I had no place to take them. We agreed that I would watch them at home. I waited a few blocks away while waiting for an email. My ex called me, and I reminded him of the details of the order, stating that I wouldn't come until I had permission. This happened twice more within the first week when I waited down the street. So, I told him I wouldn't leave where I was staying until I had the email, which was about 20 minutes away. I texted him to remind him. The very next day, he again didn't email. We had planned for me to pick up the kids to take them to school since their school was only a few minutes from my work. However, because I had not received written permission, I ran out of time to drive to pick up the kids and then make it to their school and work. He called, furious that I wasn't there. I reminded him about the permission and explained that I was out of time. As a result, he ended up being very late to work that day. He then wanted to grant me blanket permission to come and go as needed, but my lawyer advised against it. Follow the order. The culmination of this was a few weeks later when he once again forgot to send permission. His girlfriend was staying over but didn't have her car with her. They both had to get to work, and that was the day I learned that she was his direct supervisor. My ex had to call a friend from work to pick up the kids and take them to school, and the friend found out. Of course, it got out at their workplace. Within a week of that, the girlfriend was fired over their relationship, and my ex was suspended. By this time, I had my own place, so the kids ended up staying with me most days. I later learned that the protection order was the girlfriend's idea. My ex was quite mad about it as it turned into evidence that I wasn't a threat to him or the family, and the judge was quite harsh with him over it when we settled for support and parenting time. The judge called it intentional and harmful parental alienation. Sucks to suck, doesn't it? Update 1. A decade ago, my then-husband, now ex-husband, began a relationship with a woman and kicked me out of my house. The girlfriend was instrumental in blindsiding me and planning how to keep me from my own kids. Ever since, I've kinda hated her. I've always been polite and respectful with the girlfriend because she became my kid's stepmom. But I swore that if ever I had the chance, I'd get back at her. I figured it would be something petty, but then she gift-wrapped my revenge, and I've been running with it for almost 3 weeks now. My kids are mostly grown now, some in university, some in grade school. The university kids live with me, while the high school ones still go back and forth with their dad. I'm also remarried now. My husband and I each have our own vehicles, but my husband owns and insures a minivan for when we all go somewhere together. The kids are free to use it too as only one of them has a car. We only have one set of keys, so I put an AirTag on it. It's a little transponder that tracks its location. I put it on there in case the keys were lost. About 3 weeks ago, one of my older kids took the van out for the night but ended up staying at his dad's on the couch. Around 7 a.m. the next day, another kid asked to use the van. I pinged the AirTag only to find out it was hours away in an industrial section of another town. I was quite concerned about why my kid was out there. I called him up, and he was at his dad's, where he said he'd be. He had no idea the van was missing. I called the police and gave them the location of the van. Within 20 minutes, they had stopped the van, and the driver said he had permission to use it. Lo and behold, it's my ex-husband's girlfriend. The police weren't very interested in detaining her as it would be easier for her to just drive the van back to our town, and we could sort it out here. However, it wasn't my van, nor was she listed on the insurance to drive it, so I asked that it be impounded. In Canada, we can't press charges, but I was adamant that this was theft and that I wasn't going to let it go. Since the woman was out of town with no ride, the police did end up detaining her, probably because it was easier.